Why, hello. Hello, and welcome to a stream. It is indeed a stream. Getting set up here. Just give me a minute to get everything pulled up. And check all the settings, make sure everything's all set up properly. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good one. Let me ping the Discord. I definitely forgot to do that last time, which is very smart. Very good. Very good and very smart. Okay. Still checking stuff, letting people pop in here, letting people gather in the chat. We'll start out with just some updates for me and stuff. I went to Chicago. It was nice. I definitely enjoyed it, and I mean, I always enjoy going to Chicago. So that's cool. That's great and cool. As we get going here, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, be super helpful. I would appreciate that very much. And thank you for doing so. We got Sage and Turtlebird popping in early. Always glad to see you. You both. Thanks everyone for being so chill about me taking a week off. You know, summer, busy time, and just not worth trying to juggle a million things at once to inevitably burn out or whatever. So I'm just trying to take things as I can. Let me finish setting things up. Sage says this weekend was super fun. My car broke down at 3 a.m. and then I didn't sleep for 32 hours. Oh my goodness. I am sorry to hear that. That sounds actually terrible. That's no great. No great? That's no good even. It's no great and it's no good. Um all right. I think I got everything pulled up here. Oh boy. All right. So, yes, I went to Chicago. It was lovely. I had a great time. Very fun, wonderful, amazing, stupendous stuff. Got to do some flow arts while I was there, which was great. They have a very active scene out there, which makes me happy. And yeah, it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping to go back maybe in fall. I have some people that I can stay with now, so like Chicago is a lot cheaper, like a lot cheaper now. Cuz like B&Bs are expensive. I mean, honestly, like was the most expensive part of going to Chicago for me. So it's nice to have something where I can have a place to stay without spending oodles of money that I don't have. Hello from Ohio. I hope you're well. I wish everyone a safe July. Please stay hydrated and take care of yourself. Welcome, Vel. Welcome. I am also in Ohio. So hello also from Ohio. um, yes. Hello from England. Let's see what Billy, not far. Hello, welcome. Happy to see you here. Happy to have you here. First time chatter. It's amazing, stupendous, wonderful. Um, and welcome Mia. So we have news to cover today. And oh god. Um so okay, I have a lot of news to cover. Ohio homies. Yes, Ohio homies. Also where welcome Cherry, happy to see you. But yes, the Ohio um so is it okay to ask which part? You don't have to be specific. Just curious region wise, like I'm Northwest. Val, I appreciate the caution in asking. I will not tell you where I live in Ohio. It is not safe for me. Like honestly, like I see other content creators who just like take pictures out in public and like non-marginalized creators who just don't have to care at all, but it's just like I have to make a point of uh hiding the exact location. Like Ohio is a pretty big state, so I don't feel too bad telling people I live in Ohio, but like definitely for the other stuff, it's just not it's not good. It's not good. Okay. Yeah, that's my bad. I didn't want feelings. No, you're fine for asking. It's okay to ask. I just can't share that info. Cherry says, Cincy for me, I'll fight a phobe. Nice. Nice. I will say that I do love Ohio. Like I hate the politics. Like the politics suck tremendously. But like Ohio itself, I actually really enjoy. Actually very much enjoy. All right. Oh my gosh. We have news to cover. And I gotta kind of split it up. So there's like some news that I want to cover on Wednesday that I want to make a video about. And I would like to do that. So there are definitely going to be some news stories that I just kind of don't cover today, but that's okay. Like if that happens, then we'll get to it on Wednesday and I'll record a video and stuff. There has been kind of a wave of bad news, I would say. And I'm I don't know, folks. It's bad. I guess we can talk about the huge news today. Um, that well, I don't know if it's just today or whatever. It seems like it kind of happened over the weekend and stuff. There's a queer femmes and them's walking fitness group every Monday here. Nice folks. My legs are tired. Aw, that's awesome. That's super cool. Is it like what's the name of the group? Just curious. Uh, that's cool though. I love a good walking fitness group. That's super sick. Um, yeah, we're gonna talk probably mostly about like Platner and some other stuff, but we'll just see what we get into. To be honest, I don't know how much time I want to spend on the Platner stuff. I it's really disappointing and bad and maybe a little predictable. I guess we can just jump into like the story itself. So like Graham Plattner, some new allegations came out about him, and like some like the previous allegations were like not good necessarily, but some of them were kind of like forced from like trying to like tear him down. Like some of them weren't corroborated like properly. Like there was like an air of deniability since he queer walk club. Oh, that's cool. Um, there's like an air of deniability for some of the stuff, and some of the things leftists were kind of just hoping to look past, like the tattoo thing. Like yeah, if he got like a tattoo that's related to like Nazi symbology or whatever, and he just like didn't know that that's what it was, like that does say something about his level of ignorance, at least at that point in his life when he got the tattoo, which is not great, right? But like a lot of leftists, I was like, oh, it's a long time ago, oh, we can try to look past it. I don't know, folks. I think he's cooked. I think it's the end for Plattner and his campaign. As we get going here, if y'all wouldn't mind hitting that like button, that would help bring more people in here, which would be really nice, really helpful, be really lovely. Please and thank you. I appreciate it. Um, if anyone is feeling disheartened or bewildered by Plattner's developments, I suggest reading MLK's letter from Birmingham jail. Um, hold on. Sorry. I have to honestly like look it up, to be honest. Okay, well, you know what? I'll do that for you. I will wait. I want a browser capture. Sorry, give me a second here. I'm trying to blip. So here it is. I I'm not sure exactly what this has to. do with it. It's a lot, just to be fair, but it's a good read and provides important context that is kind of timeless. Well, like, what are you? Tell me really quickly what you think is like what's related. You know, like what's related in here that you think is um important for us. Like, what's the takeaway from this that you think is important? Like, he's obviously not like, yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure exactly what your takeaway from this is that you would like us to. What is the drama again? Okay, so let's just talk about Plattner for now until Citron gets back to us. But essentially, not ex-Nazi shit. Some new sexual assault allegations came forward, and it's like very bad. Like, it's really bad. These allegations, like, I know there were some previous allegations against him in terms of like sexual assault or something like that, and like him sexting that woman or whatever. But it like those were kind of like not great sources, kind of like not corroborated, like I said, and just like it's an unfortunate thing. Um but previously people were willing to like, there's enough deniability here. This stuff is there's no deniability here. The allegations are pretty confirmed. Like, obviously we need to hear more, but let's see here. Let me see if they go over the actual details here. Okay, so Jenny Rassicot, I don't know, 41, alleged in a series of interviews with Politico that after an on and off relationship with Plattner for more than 2 years, he entered her home in Maine uninvited and sexually assaulted her. And it's not just like, oh, he fondled her or whatever. Like, he he full on like raped her, like full on like she was like, "No, no, 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 no," over and over and over. "No, no, 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 no." And he was just like basically blackout drunk and just went all in on it. And yeah, so the next morning, she like didn't like a lot of this stuff is interpersonal, so like it's obviously complicated, but she woke up the next day and was like, "Dude, you're never allowed to talk to me again or see me again or interact with me again. Like, I want nothing to do with you anymore." And yeah. She felt compelled to speak publicly because of speak publicly of her experience because of the controversial reaction to a story published in the New York Times. Several women alleged Plattner mistreated them. The report last month details the accounts of 3 former girlfriends who accused him of erratic and angry behaviors, published just before the primary race. So those were like the previous allegations. Rassitot or Rakisot, whatever, I don't know, told Politico she was one of the women interviewed by the Times, but did not want to go public with her specific claims because she did not want to be known as a rape victim. Plattner denied the allegations, which is really bad. And it says he refused to drop out of the race, but we don't know about that. Um, yeah, let's see here. Uh, yeah, they're gonna go into other controversies and stuff here, but like, so the unfortunate thing is that like this stuff has been confirmed by, uh, yeah, like these allegations have been confirmed by like a boyfriend and a therapist, and it's not good. It's pretty bad. Like, honestly, I think this is the nail in the coffin. I think this is it for him. Hey, Red Fire Blue Ice. And also hi Lexi, I didn't say hi to you. And Asura, hello. Discovery process is gonna be wild. Yeah. I don't know exactly how much like evidence there was. I think I gotta look up the Politico story to find out real quick. Hold on. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, let's see here. So, a woman dated Maine candidate Graham Plattner, said he forced her to have sex with him nearly 5 years ago, despite repeated objections. Maine resident detailed incident. So she said she had an on and off relationship with him, and for more than 2 years. One night he entered her home uninvited, deeply intoxicated, and forced himself on her while she repeatedly told him to stop. She said she cut off contact with him after telling him the encounter was not consensual. I remember him grabbing my pelvis and being really forceful of me, she said. I remember the specific moment where I thought to myself, like, this is no longer my choice. And Plattner denied the allegations. Um, Yeah, she didn't wanna go public 'cause she didn't wanna be known as a rape victim. She felt compelled to go public because of the reaction the Times story dominated controversy. Another woman, Lindsay Fifield or whatever, who alleged Plattner mistreated her and faced attacks because of her ties to the Republican Party. Um She said that she was torn over coming forward in part because she agrees with Plattner politically. One of the reasons I didn't come forward sooner was the huge moral conflict that I had between supporting his politics and not supporting him as a person. I just want the truth out there. I just want people to have a whole scope of who he is as a person. In a statement, the Plattner campaign reiterated his denial and accused critics of trying to drive him out of the race. These allegations are very serious, and Graham vigorously denies them. They are also coached and coordinated by out of state establishment operatives. For a year, opponents of this campaign have thrown a I don't know. It's Plattner is screaming fake news, and it's kind of sketchy. Uh, so Citron responded, I mainly mean on the white moderate part in MLK's letter. Many PLC lefties were discredited and ignored when saying they don't trust Plattner or war vets that aren't anti-war. And wait, many PLC lefties were discredited and ignored when saying why they don't trust Plattner or war vets that aren't anti-war. I think Plattner came out as anti-war, right? Like, I'm pretty sure he did. And I'm not saying you know, I disagree with your statement there. My main point is that when even POC who are liberals and moderates, white lefties should take a chill pill and listen. Many of us did not, and instead lectured people of color. I didn't see that discourse online, Citron. I don't know exactly where that happened or where what that's about or whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do have something to talk about in relation to this. Morals aren't hard, true. Do these politicians not realize they need to learn self-control when entering this level of professional environment? No, for sure. I don't know how he thought that this stuff wasn't going to come out. Like, I don't know if it's just like a little bit of a delusional kind of belief or something that Plattner had. Like, clearly this stuff is insanely problematic, and like, there's basically nothing that can be done at this point about that. Like, it's a done deal. Um, Unfortunately. Let's see here. I'm mostly disappointed in myself. I failed to believe the first survivor back then. No, I get it. And like, honestly though, like, don't beat yourself up too much, because like, it is important to have like a level of um skepticism and stuff like that. Like, that is definitely a thing. For sure. But when things mount and like, you like this stuff. Oh, Freddie just farted. It's gonna smell so bad. He's been farting today, like, nonstop. He just won't stop farting. Brad, you stinky butt. But anyway, like this is so confirmed and stuff. Like, there's no denying it. You think APAC, DNC, and MAGA are behind this? Red Fire, Blue Ice? No, no, it's not. This is not some. This is not like a fake thing. This is not like a Taylor, like a This is not like a story that has been constructed to just tear him down. Like, this is definitely something that really happened, and like, I would believe it. And I'll tell you why. I have a I have a cousin who married like an ex-marine, And the thing about a lot of these people who have gone to war and done all this stuff and been deployed and shit is that a lot of them are deeply traumatized, and especially like Plattner. I mean, he's like Marine Special Forces, right? Like this is not like someone who was like a field medic or someone who like was like in a Navy ship and never saw conflict or anything like this. Like Plattner went out into active war zone deployments as a Marine Special Forces guy. Like he most certainly did some horrible stuff in his deployments and stuff, right? Like he almost certainly did some horrible stuff. And look, so okay, this guy, so my cousin married this guy who was like an ex-Marine or whatever, and he was like on the surface incredible. Like kind of like Plattner, like a strong guy, strong voice, very optimistic, very kind, kind of like really like seems like a great person. But then when like he would get like basically blackout drunk and like did some horrible stuff to my cousin and like was genuinely a dangerous human being. And so like I just need to be real with all of you. I just think I just need to be real with all of you that like we like if someone runs and they are like, "Hey, I was a Marine, private military contractor, special forces, whatever." If they say something like that, like, "Hey, I was actively deployed like 5 times and in a war zone and blah blah blah." Like someone like that is probably deeply traumatized and flawed and PTSD and probably has like a lot of guilt and stuff about things that they've done. And there's no like he probably didn't receive treatment for that stuff. He probably went to war, did some horrible things, and then came back and just tried to reintegrate with society and just tried to shove it all down and suppress it and all that stuff. And I'll be honest, like it doesn't work. You know, like he clearly has issues where he gets drunk and suddenly the monster or whatever comes out. And like that's a real thing. And like the fact that he's denying all of this outright, the fact that he's just like, nope, didn't happen, didn't happen, didn't happen, that is a huge red flag. Like the only like I'm not like there's no excusing what he did and there's no like coming back from this in my opinion, but the only correct way to respond to this for him would have been to say like, "Hey, I recognize that this happened and it's deeply like I am deeply sorry for it and there it's not excusable, but he could say like I have some pretty bad PTSD and like maybe if he was receiving treatment for it or something, that could have been a conversation. But if he's not like doing anything to receive treatment for it, then that's just like it's not good. It's really not good. It's like he's basically shouting fake news. And he's like pulling the Trump card, literally. And I think that's toxic and bad. Like literally like the only way to respond to this that isn't total dog shit is to be like, "Hey, I acknowledge these things and like I accept any consequences that may come of this, including me potentially losing the race, but like I want to be honest about how I plan to hold myself accountable, blah blah blah." Like I'm huge on restorative justice, right? Like I think that people deserve a chance to grow. And I think that sometimes people do horrible things and they're able to come back from that and be a good person and in a way redeem themselves, even if sometimes like people do unforgivable things and there's no like you don't necessarily have to forgive them for the horrible things they do, but that doesn't mean that that person needs to be like a monster for the rest of their life, right? Like people can reform. I do believe that. I do believe in restorative justice, but he's not taking that route. Like he's literally just uh yeah. And like I'll be honest, like I had huge like the second that I heard that he was a private military contractor and like deployed multiple times and all that stuff, that was like a huge red flag for me. A huge red flag. And the only hope that I had for him was that like maybe at some point in his deployment he just saw enough horrible stuff that it did radicalize him and it did turn him into an actual leftist, which maybe it did, but even if it did turn you into a leftist and radicalized you, that doesn't mean that you can just ignore the PTSD and the horrible things that you've done, and like try to reintegrate with society without confronting any of that. Like I think probably he's a guy, and I think probably he did the strong man thing where he's like, oh, I'm just gonna be a big strong man, and I'm just gonna tough it out, and I have all these problems and stuff, but I'm just gonna tough it out. Like, no, you need to get fucking therapy, dude. Like, you need to see some very serious therapists to help uh parse out all of this shit. Let me read chat a little bit here. Um let me scroll back just a little bit. I'm like, don't they do a thorough background to make sure there is no scandal? Well, I mean, like, yes, but no. Like, it's not like he was charged with a crime with this, right? Like, if you read the story here that came out from Politico, what happened was this was an interpersonal relationship. He was on and off with this woman, and then he went over drunk and raped her. And like, like, she didn't want him arrested. She didn't want to go to the police because that's a horrifying thing to do for a victim. And so she kind of kept it to herself and her therapist and other stuff. Like she told her boyfriend, she told her therapist and stuff, but she didn't want to like drag this out into the public square and do all of this stuff. But then you see this person run for office, and like if that happened to you, there's a level of like responsibility that you have to accept. Like, okay, like I know like how this person is interpersonally, and I feel like that's important information for the voters. And it is important information for the voters. So like, no, you can't, like, you can ask Plattner, hey, you got any skeletons in your closet? But if he responds, nope, then like, I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go to Maine and like try to put ads out to like find controversies of like, do you know Plattner? Do you have juicy goss? Like, hit us up, bro. Like, no, that didn't, it's like, yeah. And I saw someone say that he's not anti-war, which maybe I misread his statements. I think someone said he's anti-useless war, which if that is his, if that's if he's trying to nuance anti-war, then like that's already a horrible thing in and of itself. Do these politicians not realize they, oh, I already read that. Someone tried to pull that recently when a lead singer of a band called to beat the fuck up out of a person in a crowd with a banana suit on because the singer is a, oh, I don't know what that's related to. Progressives must not become apologists for the sake of winning like MAGA does. I agree. And honestly, like, I would not encourage people to vote for Plattner at this point. Like, I would tell you, if you're in Maine, uh, vote down ballot, but just for the Senate seat, just leave it blank. Don't vote for Collins, obviously, but like, I think Collins just kind of clutched this. She's gonna get the seat. Like, Plattner is probably gonna lose. I'm mainly referring to IRL conversations I've had with people about Plattner, but Think Peace Tribe, small lefty channel, has a good video on it. Oh, okay. I haven't talked to many people IRL about Plattner. I've seen online discourse about him. I think a lot of leftists just wanted to have hope. It's like, it's an important seat, right? And it's an important seat, and I think a lot of leftists just wanted to believe. Like, I wanted to believe, like, I had my doubts about him. I definitely viewed him, being a military guy as a huge red flag. But, like, I just wanted to believe that he could be a good senator and be a good advocate for leftist policies. And, that was wrong. But you don't know till you know, and now we know. So you went back to, I already read that. So much for reforming SCOTUS. What initially raised flags for me was him saying he wanted to expand recruitment for the forces. Instantly, it was giving a war hawk to me. Oh, okay, I didn't see that stuff. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I assume Plattner is a war criminal. Probably. The denial and doubling down is giving Trump. Yes. To be fair, we need a president that won't veto a SC term limit bill before passing said bill means anything. I don't blame people for hoping for Plattner up until this point, since the other option is the APAC candidate. But at this point, I'm going to At this point, him going away is an acceptable loss. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like I wanted to believe that it could be possible. It's not gonna work. I think the Plattner vote. I think the Plattner would vote better than Colin. I trust Plattner wants to redeem himself. Rusty, I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. Like I said, he has not shown that. Like if he wanted to redeem himself, like I said, the only way that, like, if him coming out and immediately denying the allegations is just insanely bad. Like here, let's I'm going to pull up the video. I'm going to pull up the video. Plattner response. I wonder if I can just uh is this is this oh my god. I Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me grab this real quick. Let me grab my headphones, put them on. Let's see. I just read the band Nana comment and I'm confused if I'm being real. I don't know about the whole situation, but white lefties need to listen better and stand 10 toes down on that. No, I agree. I agree that, like, we need to take everyone seriously, and, like, especially people that are um uh okay, okay, hold on. Hold on. Um He may, but this is not aligned across. Yeah, like he would probably vote better than Collins, but, like, we can't accept that. Like, like, Trump votes the way, or, like, like, Trump is gonna do the things that a lot of right wingers want him to do, but, like, he's a monster, and, like, I don't think that we should encourage that kind of stuff. What little credibility the left has, it has to keep in this one. But yeah, exactly. And Riff, that is another important part about this, is that, like, we are already getting attacked. If you're on the far left, you are getting attacked constantly. Like, that is just a real thing that's happening. And, like, any candidate that is less than perfect, the establishment on, the Democratic side and the Republican side, they're going to take any opportunity to paint the far left as being, like, these insane, radical, disgusting, degenerate, blah 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 blah. Like, the list goes on and on, right? And honestly, the thing that I'm most mad about is that, yes, the left sided with him for a long time. Um, but now we need to separate ourselves from him. We need to say, like, because the establishment Dems are literally just gonna come forward and be like, "I told you so. I told you so. We've been saying he's a monster for months. Remember the Nazi tattoo? Remember the other allegation? Blah 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 blah." They're gonna lambast us. They're gonna grill us over open flames, over Plattner. And if we try to stand with him, it is only going to hurt our credibility even more. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, as leftists, like, I'm not for purity politics, in the sense that, like, if someone disagrees with me on a policy position, I'm willing to discuss, and, blah 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 blah. Like, I'm willing to work through stuff like that with someone, but, like, this is not it. And, we can't make excuses for this. He's just going to drag us down with him if we do that. Like, if we side with him and then we try to attack Trump, like, Trump has been, alleged and confirmed sexual assault, right? Plattner alleged and confirmed sexual assault. So if you want to say that, like, Trump is a rapist and that he shouldn't be in office and he shouldn't be in politics, then you can't then go and support someone who has been credibly accused of the same exact thing. Um, like, and I get that, like, Trump may be a certain magnitude worse, but that doesn't make it. This is a really bad frame. But it doesn't matter. I don't care. But let's watch this response. So this was Plattner's response, and this is in response to someone said they think that he believes he's going to reform or whatever. I side against genocide. I accept SA if it means no genocide. Okay, Rusty. Let me put it this way. the flipping of Maine is an important seat, but like Gr Graham is not necessarily anti-war, and maybe he's anti-genocide, but you just don't know. And like honestly, like I'm sorry, but like we have to stand on principles. And like if Hitler ran as a leftist and promised to vote as a perfect leftist, I wouldn't want to elect him into office. And like if someone tries to run, like we just can't accept this. I'm sorry, we just can't accept it. Like I don't think that we can I don't think we should or can look past this. Like if he gets into office and we just keep siding with him over and over, do you have any idea what that's going to do to leftist credibility? It's going to absolutely destroy the left. Like establishment Dems woke up today and they are drooling at the possibility of like I guarantee you for forever now. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you far left people, you wanted Plattner. You wanted Plattner." They're gonna hold that over our heads. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you wanted a rapist. You wanted it. Blah blah blah. We wanted this." You know, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we wanted Janet Mills, and she was this uh little old lady, this innocent little old lady." And it's just like I don't know. Let's just look at his response. Hold on, I gotta ban someone on Twitch. Also, Pitzel, I see you there. It's a weird rebuttal. He's not denying the event happened, just that anything non-consensual did. Also, this wasn't a random stranger, so the cover story makes no sense. What do you mean by the cover story makes no sense? What do you mean by that? I'm sorry it took me so long to get to your comment. You're the 100% the first person outside of my friends who has got a handle right from out the gate. Well, I mean, it's just there yeah, this is I think this is in my opinion, this is the only response that is Palestinians need to live. It is desperate in Gaza. Rusty, I understand that. I'm with you 100%. But like Plattner is not going to be able to like if he got elected, that's not going to end the that is not going to end the genocide. Like he is not like you're talking about it as if you're basically Rusty. The argument you're making is that if Plattner gets elected, suddenly the genocide will end. But if he doesn't get elected, the genocide will keep going on. Like I'm sorry, the genocide has basically already happened, and it's going to keep happening regardless of whether Plattner gets elected or not, because it's not up to him. It's not like he can vote against shit, but like he's a tiny little piece of the thing going on. Like this is not like I yes, anti-genocide is amazing, but if you're also anti-rape, then like you can't support him. That was confusing. Sorry, by handle I meant username. Oh no, you're okay. Uh the banana situation sounds like fans using identity cynically, people using identity politics to defend assault is way different than white lefties being more mindful and willing to like no, I agree with that. I agree with that. Knockoff Lorox has allegations against him. Interesting. Oh, it's more than allegation. I mean, this is like there is a small chance it's fake, but based on what I have read, I would be extremely surprised if these allegations were fake. The lady came forward with her name. She has people that are able to corroborate her story, like her therapist and boyfriend. She, you know, very clearly had like a little bit of a she wasn't like a right winger who, you know, like this is pretty credible allegations. Like honestly, very credible allegations. Everyone has endorsed him, moving on to a new candidate. Oh, everyone has unendorsed him, moving on to a new candidate. Well, he won the primary, so like, I don't know what the hell is gonna go on with that. Like, I think, oh, I think it's a little too late. Oh, Jesus, hold on. Why is this happening? Sorry, YouTube just shit everywhere. Okay, cool. Let's watch this video. I'm sorry, I was just yapping, but let's watch this video real quick.
To directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me. Any
To those who said that he hadn't denied it, he literally did just deny it. He just said troubling and false. Um, damn, and I liked his cute Lorax mustache. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like a gruff guy, but like it's just not excusable. Anyway, sorry, let's watch this.
I wanted to directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me. Any accusation of non consensual behavior is categorically false. Over the last 10 months, I have been deeply humbled by the faith Mainers have put in me. You have welcomed me into your homes, into your places of work, into your restaurants, into your houses of worship. You have shown that a different kind of politics, one that puts the interests of people over corporations, is not just possible, but is inevitable. This movement we have built, the largest volunteer base in the history of Maine politics, the hundreds of thousands of grassroots donors, and the supporters across the ideological spectrum, we were united in a love of Maine, a belief that our politics must change, and a focus on defeating Susan Collins. So, regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward for the state that I love, the people that I love, the movement I belong to, and the goal of defeating Susan Collins. Those were the goals when we launched this campaign, and they remain my goals today. On June 9th, 154,058 Mainers, the most in primary history, voted to reject a broken politics beholden to Washington and the donor class. They voted for hope, for change, to take back our economy, to take back our power, and to take back our Senate seat. Throughout it all, you never turned your back on me, and I will not turn my back on you now. Every one of you deserves to see that.
Oh, Alexa, thank you so much for the follow here on Twitch. You just helped us hit 180. Thank you. Pro-life means pro-healthcare and anti-death penalty. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. A lot of Republicans are pro-life all the way up until the child is born, and then they are like anti-life. And so like that's very hypocritical and like not, you know what I mean? So yeah, so he basically just goes on to say that like he's not I don't know, he's like he makes it sound like he's gonna drop out, but then he also says that he's not gonna drop out, and like it's a very mixed message. This does not answer any questions, but it does answer. I mean, he denied openly the allegations, which is really bad. Um, and not even not even a nuanced conversation about the allegations. Just it's categorically false, apparently, according to Plattner, which is not good. Like, look, if you knew this lady and you had a relationship with her, and if he genuinely believes that these are false reports of misconduct or whatever, then like you would want to provide your own story and your own side to things, and you would want to provide evidence to that effect and all of that stuff. He did none of that. This lady came forward with her name, her credibility, evidence, people that can back up her claim. And like, I mean, I'm just guys, like this is very credible allegations. Like like him just flat out being like fake news. It's all fake news. Like that's not good. It's really bad. Really bad. We got gruff lovers up in here. What about fat boy gruffs? No, that's like that's like my type with guys. I love a nice husky gruff guy. That is definitely my type. Let's see here. Oh, Rusty said, "What if the victim would vote for Plattner anyway?" Look, like to be honest with you all, everyone has to make their own decision about how they're going to. Like, I don't live in Maine, right? So like, I think that this matters to the broader discourse in leftist politics, which is why I'm talking about it. Like, if Plattner gets elected, and if we platform him, and if we throw our weight behind him, we are essentially saying that we forgive whatever horrible shit he has done. And I don't forgive him because he is not showing that he is forgivable. He is definitely not taking the proper steps to do that. Like, and like I don't know the victim's current mindset. The victim says that she supports his politics but doesn't support him as a person, which makes me believe that the victim is probably not going to vote for him. Like, I don't see why she would vote for him after being, like, abused by him. So, I don't know, but even if, like, regardless of what the victim does, every person has to come to their own conclusions about whether they're gonna support this guy or not, and my conclusion is, I'm not gonna support this guy. I'm going to denounce him, and I'm going to stand on my principles, and, like, I don't care how good your politics are. If you're a deeply traumatized war criminal and you, like, rape women, like, I'm sorry. Like, that's it for me. Like, I'm not throwing my weight behind that shit. Not even a little bit. Left-wing communism and infantile disorder applies equally to the left capitalists, for what it's worth. I saw a report a few hours ago that most progressive Dems of note have dumped him. Yeah, and I would imagine that a lot of people are gonna run away from Plattner at 1,000,000 mph. Like, I'd be willing to believe that, and I think that honestly, I think that's the way. I think that's the way forward. And, like, look, maybe he still somehow wins the seat, and maybe he still goes to the Senate, but I think he should be categorically condemned by the leftist movement. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen moving forward. Like, it kinda sounds like his campaign is just over. Kinda sounds like he's not gonna have the support to cross the finish line, and even if he does cross the finish line, what, is he gonna go into an openly hostile Congress where he has no support even from his base? Like, I just can't forgive him for what has come forward. And, I mean, let's be real, like, he probably did some stuff in war that was horrendous, and, like, he doesn't seem to be recovered from that. The discourse around all of this is 100% 2016 coded. I would agree. I do believe people can be better and improve. Had Plattner been more anti-military, military industrial in his rhetoric and started with admitting he removed the tattoo, I would feel a bit, I would feel a bit betrayed right now. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I heard, and don't quote me, that Heather Cox Richardson is considering running. Well, like, I don't know what the deal with that is. But he won the primary, right? Like, the primary's over, the election is coming up. Like, I don't know if there's enough time. Is there enough time to even get a different candidate set up? Or, like, I don't know nothing about that, to be honest. I'm not caught up on the intricacies of main Senate campaigns and stuff. Like, I don't really know what the dealio is for that. It's just bad though. I would assume Susan Collins is gonna win. Like, you can't, like, Plattner had built up so much support and so much political energy. Like, all of that political energy, like, can you imagine if you're in Maine and you voted for this guy in the primary? Can you imagine how those people feel right now? I guarantee you they're gonna be couch locked. Like, a lot of people that supported Plattner in the primary are probably gonna stay home, because how can you feel good about supporting a guy like this? How can you convince yourself to get off the couch and vote for this guy when all of this is coming out right now? Those were red flags for me, so I jumped ship months ago, but I'm also not in Maine. Yeah, no, I get it. And, like, look, I held on hope because Maine is a really important seat. Like, I know that Maine is important, and so, like, I held out for hope with all the other controversies, right? Like, okay, maybe he's an idiot and got the tattoo and got it removed or whatever and didn't know or whatever, but, like, there were a lot of red flags leading up to this. It's just that, like, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, our ends define our means. Uh, I I meant means define our ends. I may be a bit buzzed. No, you're fine. The Democratic Party's left wing embodies Lenin's infantile disorder, though its purist refusal to compromise or engage pragmatically within the existing political system, a sectarian rigidity that, much like the left communist Lenin critique, ultimately isolates it from the broader working class and undermines any meaningful progressive change. Uh, uh Okay. Look, I understand that there's a utilitarian argument that people are making to still vote for Plattner. And I understand that. Do I agree with it? No. I don't agree with it. And I'm not one of those leftists. Like, I'm not obsessed with purity politics. That's not who I am. I am not like like a super pure politics person. But like I just got to be honest with y'all. Like I can't like I said, everyone has to make their own decision. Like everyone has to decide like okay, you know, do we still vote him in? Do we not vote him in? Blah 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 whatever. But like I've made my decision. I will no longer echo any support for him. I will denounce him and I would encourage people not to vote for him. And like you can take that advice or not. Like you can take it or leave it. Um like I say utilitarian, so Midwestern. Yeah, I'm very Midwestern. But like I just I don't know, guys. I just Janet Mills is an APAC tool. No, for sure. Like look, sometimes there's not a good candidate. Sometimes there's not a good candidate. And like Piper, get away from Freddy's food, girl. You're not allowed to have it. Um Kitty, yes, kitties. Someone asked how Freddie is doing. Freddie's doing well. Also, Dice Mistress, I saw you pop in on Twitch. Sorry, I didn't acknowledge you, but I acknowledged you early on, but like hello and also welcome and also I wouldn't forgive him. I couldn't forgive myself for such shit. No, yeah, for sure, for sure. Double kitties. Yeah, Piper was back there. She was hoping to steal some of Freddie's food. Um, Rowan Doggo, hello, welcome. Welcome to everybody that's popping in. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that would be super helpful for me. Also, I put my link tree in, but forgot to pin it, so let me do that real quick. If you want to find my other social medias, I post flow arts content on my Instagram. So like if you're interested in the artistic stuff that I do, on my free time on my Instagram is where you will find that. I like to travel and teach and doing all that stuff is really wonderful. Having a great summer so far in terms of that stuff. And yeah, we've got a Discord. If anyone wants to join the Discord, then feel free. We would love to see some more people in there. That would be great. Make me happy. The Discord has been declining. I feel like ever since the Palantir drama came out, a lot of leftists kind of fled Discord. And it feels like the energy that people had in terms of joining it has just really collapsed. So if yeah. Oh, and also I have to be the one to verify you. If you join the Discord, um I might like you have to open a verification ticket to get in, and I will have to do that because uh I'm pretty much the only moderator right now on my Discord, which is cool. Which is so cool. So super cool. So if you're interested in moderating, hey, hit me up, Hit me up. I gotta hold on. I don't know why Freddy has such a gross butt, but he does. But he does. I don't think I have another. Shoot. I'm doing laundry right now. And so I don't have anything to cover his little thing with, whatever. I can just wash it if I need to. All right. You're not on Discord, sorry. No, it's fine. Whatever. No pressure or whatever. You're hanging out with your void right now. He's 17-ish. Oh, I love kitties. Love an older kitty too. Spent the 4th at Cherry Grove being queer on the beach with other gays. Funny how we had a perfect unbroken sunshine and a breeze while MAGA got heat stroke and explosive thunderstorms. Nice. Nice. I hope everyone had some good celebrations and stuff. Piper, can you stop trying to steal Freddy's food? Girly. It's not nice. I don't appreciate it, and I know he doesn't appreciate it either. Here, I'm gonna stand up actually. I feel like I need to stand up. It's a standing stream. That's what tonight is. All right. Got your foster cat? Aw. 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 Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah. So Plattner, bad stuff. Also, someone earlier, let's see here. Someone said, someone said, watch out. I've already heard that there's way more to this than meets the eye. This was something new brewing just came out in the background with the woman's credibility. Okay. And look, let me also be clear about this. I am open to there being developments in this case. Like I am totally open to like, maybe the therapist comes forward and is like, "Hey, like like she's not really credible, like she or whatever." I don't know. I mean like they can't really talk about their clients and stuff. Like people could try to, you know, like new things could happen, things could change, but I'm talking about what we know right now. Like I'm talking about the information we have right now. And and someone else, Aaron just said it's just too much bad press. I would agree. Like even if this gets discredited, it feels like the nail in the coffin for the campaign. It really does. Never trust a Blackwater merc. They kill people for fun and money. Awesome. Yes, that is very true. And I had been pushing back that was a huge red flag for me when I found out that he was a private military contractor. Humongous red flag for me. Like one of the biggest red flags, right? But I was just holding on hope that somehow he had gone from chud coated to like growing. Like I don't know. I held out hope. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but now that this stuff has come out, I think that it's just too credibly problematic to support him any further. Again, there could be updates, but Plattner has to drop out so Troy Jackson can be the Dem candidate. It has to happen in the next week. I don't know who Troy Jackson is. I don't know much about like, I know Janet Mills and I know that other stuff, but it's sad to see Hope stashed. Yeah, no, for sure, but we gotta stick with our principles, in my opinion. At the very least, voting for Plattner at this point is just really bad optics. I can't believe that is hard to grasp for some. No, I get that. Yeah, Riff, I am right there with you. And unfortunately, I am seeing, even in my own chat here, I'm seeing a fair amount of people advocating for potentially voting for him anyway, regardless of these allegations. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like we can't do this blue MAGA shit. Like we can't do this like, oh, fake news, oh, he's our guy, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, we're not. This is not a cult of personality. The left is not a cult of personality. We have to be principled about the people we support. And you have to consider the future of leftists. Like, you have to be cognizant of how this will affect the future of leftist politics. If he gets elected and more stories come out or it gets confirmed or, whatever, like it could only get worse and they're just going to drag him over the coals and they're going to say, what, you leftists support a person who, does all of this stuff. Like it's just going to hurt our credibility. And that's not what we need. Like, honestly, like this is why like Mamdani is such a perfect candidate for us, right? Like this is why Mamdani is so amazing because he's pretty uncontroversial and he's really good at like appearing as this is going to sound so stupid. Mamdani is really good at appearing as a liberal. Like he is a leftist, but Mamdani is very good at like getting people to feel like, oh, this guy's just like a liberal or whatever. Like the way he talks, the way he presents himself, he does such a good fucking job with that stuff. And we need more of that. Like honestly, I'm a little nervous about some of these DSA candidates that got elected in New York, and not because I disagree with them or anything, but because I think some of them are a little bit optically problematic. And I don't think that that's like in those cases, I don't think that we should have like obviously I'm glad those people got elected. Like, right? Like I'm glad they got elected. But that one lady who hold on. I'm trying to find Daraliza Chevalier. I don't know how to say her last name at all. Honestly, I'm so sorry. Chevrolet. I don't know. I could be American as hell and just be like Chevrolet or whatever. But like I support her and I'm glad that she won. But some of the stuff that she has like said in public and stuff is like pretty optically damaging. And like I know for a fact that when they run the midterms, the establishment Dems are gonna use Daraliza as like or Daria Lisa, I think. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say her name, but people are they're the moderates are going to focus on her because she's a woman, because she's a person of color, and because she has said some pretty controversial stuff for moderates. Like Mamdani reads as a liberal, and so there's really barely an angle of attack that people can put up against him because like I mean like he really just codes as a liberal when you talk to him, even though he supports obviously good leftist policies. Well, that's not the case for every leftist. A lot of leftists have said things or do things or whatever that are easy to target and attack and stuff like that. And that's just the unfortunate reality of that. Um, we can't like, like we're already gonna have enough problems with that. We can't also add in supporting some like probable rapist or whatever. Mom Donnie does have a good mask on that. No, for sure. For sure. I'm so glad Kiros won in Colorado. I don't know who I don't know who Kiros is. Is that is that oh Malat? I think I heard good things about that actually. First Gen Z woman elected in Congress. What she was like a lawyer, and she's anti-genocide. And I think she got fired for being anti-genocide. That's about as much as I know about her. Many guys leave the military and are lost, especially back then. There were no jobs. I'll stick with voted for him until he is proven guilty, waiting to see the truth. Everyone deserves a due process. No, and like, look, everyone deserves due process for sure. No, for sure. But you have to understand that this political arena, this is not a criminal court. Like, I'm not here condemning Plattner to prison or whatever for these allegations. But like, that's exactly the point. Is that like you can't like this is like the square of public opinion, okay? And like, yes, criminally, no one should be like, oh, lock Plattner up or whatever. No one should be saying that until we go through the process or whatever, if they even want to go through the process, because chances are this happened 5 years ago. I doubt that there's any evidence left over from the actual event that would be enough to go through the court system and arrive at a conviction or anything like that. And that's assuming that this Jenny lady wants to convict him or charge him with this stuff. And it doesn't sound like she does. Like, it sounds like she was hesitant to even come forward in the first place because she didn't want to be known as a victim and she didn't want the drama and she didn't want all this stuff. But she felt compelled because she wanted people to know who Plattner was. She wanted to give people the heads up about who this guy is. And again, if you want to vote for him, like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you my thoughts and my opinions on the matter, which is that he's burned the bridge with me. Like, he's cooked. Like, I can't support this guy. And I can't in good conscience tell people to support this guy. And honestly, I think if he does get elected, I think it'll be problematic for far leftists. Like, I think it'll be just another way for establishments to attack us and be like, look at this loony wacky, insane guy, and it's unfortunate because Maine is such an important state, like, honestly, like, I feel like this wouldn't even really be as much of a conversation if Maine wasn't such an important Senate seat. Like, I understand why there's a lot of people who are like really conflicted about this in terms of like I said, like the idea of like the practical politics of like, oh, can we control the Senate or whatever? But like, outside of that, we still have to stand on our principles. Like, it's a layered, nuanced thing. Like, if this was not an important seat, then I would be actually pissed off at people like still calling to support him. Like, if he was just in some seat that really didn't matter, then like I there would be no argument at all. But like, I understand why some people are saying what they're saying. I just don't agree with it, if that makes sense. If Zoran had some controversy come up like this, I'll probably punch the wall and cry like, dude, WTF, we need at least one. Uh, certainly not Chevrolet. No, yeah. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta. The optics are shot. People just walk away. That's how I feel about it. Sorry, I gotta. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, there's so many chats right now. I kind of lost where I was too. Uh, you're expecting the general public to have grace until all the information is released in this environment? Yeah, no, that's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The optics are fucked. Mamdani is extremely disciplined in his public image. Yeah, and I think leftists kind of need to be. The DSA is killing it. Yes, the DSA is killing it. Block cameras going up in your neighborhood, that sucks. Really sucks. Okay. I think I caught up to where I was. I like Abdul Asayed. I honestly, I don't know enough. I don't know enough about that person. Um, he's running for Senate. Where's he running? He's running for Senate in Michigan. Okay. I would have to look up his politics and stuff. I don't know a shit ton about Abdul there, but I wish Booker had gotten half as much coverage as Plattner. The race is close, and it could be closer if the online left got hyped for Booker. Do you mean Cory Booker? Because I fucking hate that guy. DNC and reps will always attack progressives. No, for sure they will. But like, we don't need to give them. We don't need to hand them ammunition. Like, we don't need to vote for a guy who will give them credible attacks again. Like one of the best things about the establishment Democrats attacking and the Republicans attacking the left wing is like have you all seen those videos of Fox News where like Fox News hold on. Oh my gosh, I keep missing the key. There's like this video clip of Fox News basically being like, this is what DSA wants, and it's like healthcare and all this other stuff, and it like they're trying to attack the left, but they objectively are like giving us the like basically what we need to win people over. I can try to look for it. I can try to look for it. Let's see here. Oops. Fred's a goober. Fred's a goober. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh my gosh. Fox News is going hard on this stuff already. Here, I'll just bring this over and try to scroll through Fox News feed with you until I find it. But let me keep reading chat here. In a society dominated by spectacle and parasocial connections, this thing alone just tanked his chances, especially because of all the politics he spoke of on the trail. Yep. Join DSA. Yeah, do it for sure. App deflocked. Check it. Sounds like a good idea. Abdul Asayed is pretty damn cool. Well, that sounds good. I'm happy to hear that. And that's another thing that Charles Booker. Okay, Charles Booker. But this is what I mean. Nobody knows of him outside of Kentucky. Yeah, I don't know anything about him. But also, like, to be honest, y'all, like, I have not been following these campaigns as closely as other people have been following these campaigns. Like the Maine, like all the stuff happening in Maine with Plattner. Like, I've been following it, but very loosely, right? The same stuff with Texas. Like, I understand, Tallarico versus Paxton. Like, I've been loosely following these campaigns, but I don't live in these states. And honestly, like, I wasn't really sure how much I was going to talk about these things. And so, like, I didn't really look into these races as much. But honestly, like, I have been lately I've been feeling like I've been talking mostly about LGBTQ and like trans issues and stuff for obvious reasons, right? Like, it's important to me. It's kind of like a focus for my channel. But lately I've been feeling like I should step into the like general political commentary realm where like I should be talking about national politics more. Like, I should be kind of like, especially on my streams, like I should be really moving into this bubble where I'm not just talking about trans rights and stuff like that. Like, I want to be talking about these things. And y'all, I don't actually really even know where this clip is. But I'll look for it here in a second. Fox News looks so insanely fake if you ever watch it and then see it. So fake. Oh no, for sure. It's like it is the most like it's ridiculous. All right, let's see. Um, He's to the left of Plattner on everything and has also run before. Oh, okay, cool. Is running for Senate. Okay, cool. Well, like if someone good is running in Michigan, then I hope that they win, right? And honestly, like I'm not afraid to admit when I don't know enough about someone. So like I hope no one takes that as like an attack on my credibility or whatever. Like I just don't I like I'm not gonna like sit here and be like, oh, Tallarico, fuck yeah. Like I just don't know enough about him, right? Like do I want Paxton to lose? Like, yeah, of course. But do I know enough about Tallarico personally to be like, oh, he gets my endorsement or whatever? Like, no, no, I really don't. Um, but yeah, I think that I should start paying more attention to these races and talking about this stuff more. Like honestly, I've been feeling lately like maybe I should up my streaming schedule a bit, and I'm hesitant to do it because I don't want to like overwhelm myself. But I do feel like sometimes I have a hard time keeping up with everything. Like if I want to talk about national politics, so much is happening all the time that like it's genuinely hard for me to like cover all of that. Especially when like I get really into talking about stuff. I'm sure you all like if you watch me, you know that I like to ramble and like I get really into conversations and like we just spent an hour talking about Plattner, right? And that is not the only story that has happened in recent history. And so like it kind of feels like I'm always behind on covering the things that I want to cover or talking about stuff or whatever. And I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know, like, maybe I should stream more often or maybe I should just be more careful about how much I talk about stuff. But yeah, I do feel like it would be wise for me to move more into a broader political commentary sphere rather than focusing entirely on trans rights, which like obviously I'm still going to like talk about trans rights and focus on trans rights, but like, making it less of a complete and total thing that I'm doing. This title. Uh Jesus. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find this little thing about socialism. I kind of don't think I'm
President
going to be
Trump
able to
calling
find
out
it.
communism during his address to the nation last night. His comments come amid a surge of socialist candidates' wins across the country. Here is more from the president.
Communism is a loser, and it always will be.
Uh,
The communist system is the opposite of the American system, and the
I don't think.
communist system has
Yeah,
never
I don't
worked.
think this is it. Yeah, I don't know. I probably should have looked for it before this stream. There was like a video of Fox News where this guy was like, here, let me see if I can find an image of it. Fox News, democratic socialism. No, I can't find it. Whatever. You'll just have to take my word for it. Anyway, like on Fox News, they were like, DSA wants this. And they showed like they tried to show this like big scary graphic of all the things DSA wants or like democratic socialists want. And it was like universal health care, like, all the good stuff. And like I like genuinely I don't understand how they expect anyone to read that and be like, oh, that's so scary. They want health care for people. What? Saying I don't know honestly is a wise move instead of crafting an on the spot opinion. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not going to lie to any of you about my positions. All they can seem to complain about with Tallarico is his diet. They claim he's vegetarian and he's not. His girlfriend is. So what if he was a vegetarian? Who cares? That's all the dirt they can stir up on him. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know some people attack Tallarico because he's religious, and I will say that I think as leftists, um, I think that we need to be less less dogmatically atheist, or like as a coalition. And I say that because I think that there could be some really good, like, true leftist candidates who are religious, and I think that honestly they would be discouraged from running in the current environment and would also receive less support. Like Tallarico has been a pretty good example of this. Like, there are a lot of leftists who are like, yeah, Tallarico's good, but he's a Christian, and like they use that as like a huge dig against him. Like, folks, I know some Christians that are genuinely really good fucking people that, like, I would trust more than some like fucking, like, terminally online leftist. I'm sorry, but like I think if we attack people on the grounds of them literally just being religious or not, then we are just being bigoted against people's religions. Like of course there's like a nuanced conversation to this. If someone is running as a Christian nationalist, and they're like, oh, if you're not a Christian, you're going to hell, and America should be a Christian nation. Like, obviously that's too far. That's not good. And that's not what we want. But like, literally just someone being Christian is like, it's not it's not worth attacking anyone over. And actually, I think that's to the hindrance of the leftist movement. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really, I find it disturbing constantly how much of the leftist movement is like this dogmatic, atheistic coalition where it's like, like I talk about this before. Like, I'm a very spiritual person, and like I find spirituality incredibly important to my life, to my development as a human being, and to how I view the world and how I interact with people, and even my principles and my politics are heavily influenced by my spiritual journey that I am very engaged with. And I'll be honest, I kind of feel like, like, I have nothing against atheists, but like, if you're gonna be like dogmatic in your atheism, like, you're just discriminating against people that have different worldviews than you, even if like, you know what I mean? Like, we could agree on literally everything else, but then someone could find out that I'm like spiritual or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, she's fucking crazy or whatever. And it's like, no, like, you're the one being ridiculous. Like, we can't build a leftist coalition with just atheists. Like, it's literally not gonna work. It's literally not gonna work. And like what if you listen? I don't know, dude. It makes me really mad when I see stuff like that. And like, I understand that it for a long time it was kind of like a de facto thing on the left or whatever. But like, we just need to move away from that shit. Did you see the Patriot parachute crash? It was no injuries, and it's funny and symbolic. Here, I can look that up. Patriot parachute crash happened on July 2nd. All right, let me Oh, are you sure that this was no one was hurt? I'm seeing. Oh, that was 3 weeks ago. Okay. Oh, that was 20. Wait, what? Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me 1 second. Okay. So here's this video that was mentioned. There is audio, but it's got music, so I don't really want to like play. I guess it's only 17 seconds, but here, let me just mute it. Or, well, no, we can play the audio. I'll just turn it down really low, and I'll pause it after a few seconds. Okay, so this guy parachuting in. He's got the flag underneath him. He's coming in hot or whatever. I'm going to pause it for a second so I don't get demonetized on YouTube. It looks like he's about to crash into this tree. Like, it looks like the flag is going to snag on those trees right there, which is not good. Oh, 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 that is really bad. Oh, I paused it at like the perfect moment, honestly. That was pretty, yeah, that was funny. Flag is too big, you know, too big. As long as he remains big on separation of church and state, he's big on it, and that's what we need. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Many ex-Christians still believe in shunning even after they leave the church. Usually they just shift to shunning for being religious or an imperfect lefty. Yo, absolutely, Citron. That is spot on. Honestly, that is what I have noticed is that a lot of people who are Christian, you know, they're like dogmatic about being Christian. They're like, "Oh, you got to be Christian. No, you're going to go to hell or whatever." But then you like you know, you convert to an atheist or whatever, and then you're just the exact kind of dogmatism on the other side, which is like a really common thing. People tend to ping pong from extreme to extreme, right? Like there's a lot of people who are on the alt right who like get radicalized and go to the far left. And I'm not saying that like that's a bad thing inherently, but like you have to be careful. You have to moderate your extremes, right? Like so if you believe something and then you change your belief, you have to be careful not to like just jump to the complete opposing view uh on the other extreme end of the spectrum because like that might not be the right thing. It's stupid too because something like 79% of Americans are some form of Christian. Yeah, no, for sure. Like it's yeah. Let me see here. Your religious beliefs are supposed to be irrelevant when it comes to our government. Exactly. Exactly. Like I think that like, you know, like it shouldn't matter if there's a really good lefty and they're Christian or Muslim or whatever, like I don't care. Like I don't care. I don't care. Like the same as if someone's an atheist, cool, I don't care. As long as you're not like shoving that belief down the throats of other people, which is exactly what atheists say that they hate about Christians. It's like, oh, you're gonna shove your beliefs down our throat. Okay, but if you're an atheist and you're very dogmatic about it, you're also shoving it down people's throats. Like, let people decide. Like a lot of the one thing that makes me really mad. I don't want to talk about this for too. I mean, maybe I will talk about this for a while. I don't know. But the one thing that makes me really fucking mad is that atheists do this thing where they're like, every religious person is delusional. They're 100% wrong. There's no way it's true. Religion is a falsehood. It's a lie. It's a delusion. It's crazy or whatever. But then they like the way they talk about it makes it sound like they have some kind of definitive proof that God is real or not. Like, folks, I went to college for philosophy. I studied theology in college. Like, like if you are dogmatic in your atheism, you are being incredibly stupid because like there is absolutely no evidence that God is not real. There's no evidence he is real, but there's no evidence he's not real. That's what faith is all about. That is the point of faith. And if you don't have faith, that's fine. But you can't sit there and be like, "Oh, everyone who does have faith is a delusional moron and is subhuman and blah 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 blah." It's like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's so frustrating to me. And like as someone who's spiritual, like there's a lot of people on the left who are spiritual and like you can't just shun those people. You can't fucking do it. Like it's important to let people Dadzilla, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. You're the best ever. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Talarico takes a lot of shit down here in Texas for his support of the LGBTQIA, especially trans rights. Yeah, and like that's the thing is like Talarico's yes he's Christian, but he stands on principles. I saw someone replace that parachuting with Patrick from SpongeBob. That's super funny. Much needed mood lifter. Yeah, for sure. He went back to parachuting 2 days later. Wow, at least he's stuck with it. Do you cover the record-breaking fireworks causing did you cover the record-breaking fireworks causing bad air quality? No, because I'll be honest, I think that there's more important things to talk about. Like I'll be real with you, economic prisoner. There are certain stories that people cover, like commentators and influencers and stuff. Like people that stream, like look, if you watch someone who streams 5 days a week on YouTube or whatever, or Twitch or whatever, if you watch someone like that, you have to keep in mind that like they have to fill the time, right? Oh, apparently I got a Alan Wake Chicken Bake, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I'm so sorry I didn't see that at first. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. And also thank you all of you for liking the YouTube stream. That is huge. That is helping us out a bunch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. But wait, what was I talking about? Oh, the air quality. Okay. If someone streams like 5 days a week or whatever, like they often have a lot of time that they have to fill. Like, I don't know, you do 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 15 hours of talking, right? And like I normally stream twice a week talking about news and politics. Like I do maybe 6 hours of news and politics commentary weekly, right? So like I'm not going to be able to cover as much as other people, and other people have to fill a lot more time. And so they're going to be looking for stories to talk about. Like they're going to be looking for things to fill their time to talk about. And that's where you start getting stories like the air quality. Like that's always an issue after fireworks. Like I don't know if anyone else has paid attention to this, but it doesn't matter who's president. There's always air quality alerts after the 4th of July because of all the fireworks that have been going off. Like even where I live, there were air quality alerts. Now it's true that it was especially bad this year. Like they did the largest show ever or whatever, so it was especially bad. But like I just don't think that's an important story. Like I don't think it matters. I don't think it's important. I think there's so much more stuff to talk about that would be such a better use of our time. And honestly, like what's the takeaway from the air quality bullshit? Like yeah, we should be swapping to drone shows. Like we should not be doing these firework displays. We should be having like drone shows or whatever else that's like better for the environment and less terrible for animals and less bad for people with PTSD. Like I'm on that boat or whatever. I'm so for that, but I just don't think that it's worth me spending more than maybe 10, like honestly, talking about it right now with your comment, like just a passing comment on it, I think is like, that's about all I have to say about it, you know? Explaining leftist principles in MAGA speak drives me insane. Rowan, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? By the way, first cast of the month. People don't have the bandwidth and they're struggling to make rent and feed their kids. True. Super off-putting for sure. I will say that you rarely see the left ever taking away anyone's rights, as I see with the right who do take away rights. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Did I say anything? Did I say anything that makes you think that I think that leftists want people to have no rights? Like I think even dogmatic atheists, I think usually want people to have religious freedom. Like I would agree with that. But I just think that like if you're trying to build a coalition and someone comes up to you and they're like, you know, I really want to know more about like universal health care, and I think that that's good because like let's be real. If Jesus were alive today, he'd be a leftist, right? Like if Jesus were here, he'd be a leftist. And so like honestly, there's a huge avenue of persuasion that leftists are just leaving on the table by not trying to bring Christians into the fold who would be good leftists. You know, like all you have to do is really bring Jesus into the picture and be like, look, Jesus cared for the poor, cared for the underprivileged, wanted everyone to have access to care, and like it's an easy line of reasoning, and like it's underutilized on the left. The only dogma that should be forced on others should be loud rocking riffs. I only have smoke for people who feel the need to preach about their God to me. No, for sure. I agree with you there. Usually I just shut down the conversation. Like, you know, if a Mormon approaches me or whatever, it's just like not interested. Do not, you know, but that's about as far as I take it. Like if someone's an atheist, I'm not going to sit there and shit all over them and call them delusional and whatever, which I do see a lot for a lot of terminally online leftists. I see that a lot. I see it a lot. I like the line call-in show for their trans stuff, but they can be insufferably smug. I've heard the line brought up before. People have told me to reach out to them to see if I can get on the show. I think I did send them an email, maybe. I'm not really sure. As an atheist, I have much more respect for devout pagans than most Christians, because in my experience, pagans don't try and shove their beliefs in your face. Also are pro-science. No, I agree with you, but there are plenty of Christians that are pro-science that would be good leftists. Like there are plenty of those. And I do feel like sometimes the discourse on the left makes it sound like we are like anti-Christian, which or like anti-religion, which like I do think is a bad optical. It's bad optics, folks. Like there's a lot of religious people, and all the edgy dogmatic atheists just became edgy dogmatic Christians after the tide shifted with Trump. Look at Sam Harris. That's a good one right there. Yeah. Uh, drink water and don't forget to like the stream. Thank you, Gwen. I'm going to drink that water right now. Hydrate or dihydrate. True. Marcy, that's the optimal message to receive while chugging my bottle. Oh, hive mind. I love that you all stay hydrated. That's great. Like, it sounds crazy, but I'm 100% convinced that delving into esoteric spiritual stuff and doing pentagram rituals helped me come out of the closet super late in life. I would not be who I am today without my spiritual journey. I would not be, like, I'm going to be real with all of you. Spirituality is a huge part of the reason I was able to heal from my PTSD. I had a severely traumatic childhood. Like, I don't talk about this super often. Both of my parents were drug addicts. I grew up in an extremely problematic environment, to say the least. I have sexual trauma from me as a child. I have neglect trauma. I have CPTSD. I have a slew of traumas from before I was 7 years old, where I was not getting fed, I was neglected, I was abused. All of this stuff happened to me, okay? And I grew up an extremely troubled individual, okay? I was not a nice person for a long time. I was problematic, I was mean, I was condescending and arrogant. I was not a great person, because trauma is a bitch, and trauma will contort you and make you feel all of these horrible things like hatred and all of this stuff. But this, like, the spiritual journey that I went on in my life, starting in like my early 20s or so, it saved me, folks. Like, it is the reason I was able to heal from my trauma and find like peace in myself and forgiveness for others and all this stuff. Like, I think it's incredibly important to me. And like, honestly, if people ask me, like, I talk about philosophy a lot. I studied philosophy in school, and people are always asking me like, hey, I want to get into philosophy. I want to study philosophy. What should I read? I often tell people like, yeah, Western philosophy is cool and all. Like, there's some interesting stuff to read there. But if you really want to get some good value out of reading something similar to philosophy, I would more so recommend that people read stuff like Joseph Campbell. Like, if you've never read Joseph Campbell or Alan Watts or any of these people, like, I highly recommend it. More so Joseph Campbell. Studying mythology and understanding the symbology that's present within the human experience. It's important. And like, you don't have to be religious. You don't even have to be spiritual to study mythology. Like, honestly, mythology is just a representation of like innate truths in the human experience. Like, okay, animals have this thing called innate releasing mechanisms. And essentially, like, when a turtle is born, they see the birds flying overhead, and that triggers like a genetic memory that's like, yo, you gotta run. Like, you gotta run, okay? And it's like, cool, like, gotta run. So the turtles run. So there are these things called innate releasing mechanisms, and they are triggered by visual symbolic imagery that is like taken in by the animal and triggers the release of the genetic memory or whatever. I very strongly believe that mythology and a lot of spiritual stories and stuff like that are essentially serving as innate releasing mechanisms for human beings. Like, if you go and you read about Icarus, or you go and you read about any of these old mythological stories, if you try to take them literally, obviously you're not going to get anything out of it. If you try to take all of spirituality and religions literally, you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you take it as an allegory, if you take it as a literary exercise and like what you can learn from that, it's actually huge. Like, think about how many like life lessons people can learn from these stories that have nothing to do with real life, but they teach you some valuable experience that you can then bring forward into your real life without having to suffer the consequences. Like, if you know what happened with Icarus and flying too close to the sun and the wax wings and they melt and they plummet to Earth, that might save you from doing something like that in your real life, because you might enter a situation and be like, whoa, am I about to be Icarus? Am I about to fly too close to the sun? Is that about to be what I do? And it helps you avoid those pitfalls. And so, like, I think that shit is incredibly important. And there's more to it than that. Like, there's forgiveness, which I think is an incredibly important thing for people to have. Like you should forgive people not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You know, like that's a huge core belief of mine, is that you deserve inner peace, and holding on to grudges and holding on to hatred and holding on to these negative emotions, it's not good for you. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your wellness. It's not good for any of that. And so if you confront it and you like work on it, it can be incredibly healing for yourself to like forgive, not because like, you know, someone did something that apologized in a perfect way or whatever, but just because it's what you need to do for your own health and wellness and growth. Okay, I will get off my soapbox here. Thank you all for listening. Actually, I think Jesus would be an obnoxious centrist, but maybe left of center. No, Drew, I disagree. Jesus was definitely a true leftist. I don't think Jesus would have been a centrist. Proud Norse pagan here. Hey Katana, welcome. And yay. Okay, gang, I gotta call it. No more spoons. Love and take care. See you later, Sage. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, if you all ever, you know, like if we're talking about stuff and you all hit a point where like you can't you gotta, you know, unplug for a bit, like go for it. Like you gotta prioritize your own mental health and stuff, because you're not gonna be a good leftist if you're unable to, you know, take care of yourself. So I'm huge on that. Like, you know, it's important to make sure that you are in a good place and taking care of yourself so that you can be engaged and so that you can do what you can do. You still have to enjoy life, you know, like being politically engaged does not mean that you have to abandon health and wellness and all that stuff. My friend's wife is trans and she's going on 2 years not having her green card despite getting married 2 years ago. Oh, that's unfortunate health. I'm sorry to hear that. Religions that allow genocide are nothing I respect. I would agree with that. But that's a very blanket statement that you made, and I feel like I don't want to get into it. I support everyone's religious freedom. It's just when bigots hide behind their religion to justify said bigotry, that's when you lose me. And me too. Like I think, you know, like if a Christian is using Christianity to attack people, they have missed the point. They have missed the point of Jesus's teachings if they're using it to attack people. It's like honestly, when I see bigoted people who say they're Christian but like are like these hateful, blood and soil, racist, sexist, bigoted, transphobic people, like those kinds of people, they're not true Christians. And I am comfortable saying that even as a non-Christian. Those people are not true Christians. Like they are going to hell. Like Jesus would denounce them. And like anyone that like if someone comes to you and they say that they're Christian and they spew a bunch of hatred at you, they're socially a Christian. Like they might identify socially as a Christian. They might go to a church, but that does not mean that they have a spiritual practice. Like there is a big difference between institutionalized religion and people who have a spiritual practice and practice spirituality and religion in an honest kind of interpersonal sense. And it's very obvious. Like it is so, like when you meet someone, it is to me immediately obvious. I don't think Jesus cares about politics. They tried so hard to rope him in to revolt against the Romans, but he did not care. I don't think Jesus cares. Oh, I already read that again. Couscous, thank you for the engagement. And I would agree. I don't think he cares about politics either. But you know what? Like, I think a lot of leftists are kind of similar in the sense that we want Medicare for all. We want all these things, right? But like we're not trying to play, like we want the good stuff, but like a lot of leftists don't really want to play politics, right? Like, and I think Jesus would be uninterested in the institution of politics, but I think if you took all of, like, I know that if you take all of Jesus's positions and teachings and put them on a political spectrum, it's gonna be leftist. It's not gonna be some conservative, puritanical whatever. Mormons are fun to screw with, giving them old Mountain Meadow Massacre, Taylor. Alan Watts, An Emergent Phenomena, is equally interesting from spiritual and scientific perspective. Yeah, I love Alan Watts. Uh, Great author. I like George Carlin's take on religion. An invisible guy in the sky knows all, but he's really bad at money. That's funny. I look. The guy himself is cringe AF, but Aleister Crowley is an interesting read, important for occult studies. That that Elma is interesting and basic credo is based. Isn't Jesus that guy in Star Wars who says hello there to the robot with 4 arms? I don't like Star Wars. Just wanted to say hello and good night. Yeah, I need to unplug. I had a bit of an expending night, but I saw that you were live, so I wanted to tune in for a little bit. Everyone enjoy. Oh, well, thank you for stopping by, and I appreciate you got to do what you got to do. And so yeah, like, definitely have a good evening, and I hope to see you back sometime, but definitely do what you got to do to take care of yourself. And if you're watching this or listening to this and you're like, holy shit, like this is just too much for me right now, like I can't handle this. I get it. I get it. I mean, sometimes like last week, I unplugged. I did not follow politics last week. I came back and like today and yesterday, I've been kind of catching up. But yeah, they are fake Christians. Yeah. If my people hadn't let Christian gold and silver replace the gods, we might not be in this position now. Um, well, Christians didn't really like pagans didn't really let Christians replace everything. They sort of just did it more of like an imperialistic kind of thing. Also not a Star Wars fan. Star Trek though, I haven't seen Star Trek either. I honestly like I've been very uninterested in sci-fi for a long time. Like sometimes there's sci-fi worlds like Mass Effect or whatever that kind of grab me, but I just don't. I was never really into sci-fi growing up. It just never really grabbed me. Um every religion has a bad history. Yeah, I mean, like, look, human society has been very problematic for a long time, like bigotry and hatred and racism and like women's rights and all this stuff, like very, very, very problematic. So uh, like religion being born in like religion kind of being brought up in those times, obviously not very good. Like the institutions of religion are often very toxic, but if you read them as mythology and you take the stories non-literally, then it's a lot less toxic. Demon Girl IRL, hello Miss Leah. Watched a few of your videos and I'm happy to have you as someone to pop up and off my main monitor. Thanks for giving me a stream to have at this hour. Oh, thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. That's very kind. It's good to know that people enjoy the content. I try my best. I try to provide entertaining, informing streams where we talk about stuff and uh, yeah, like I really appreciate that. Thank you. I haven't paid attention to Star Wars much after Revenge of the Sith. I've tried to watch Star Wars before. Like honestly, Star Wars are dog shit movies. Like the Star Wars movies are like such dog shit, and I cannot be convinced otherwise. I'm sorry, I don't care. Like I know some of them are good. Some Star Wars are good, and some Star Wars are bad. Like some of the movies people think are good, some think are bad. I think they're all dog shit. Like I think they suck. I've tried watching them. I hate them. They're boring. It's the same story over and over and over again. Like they just recycle the same plot over and over, and I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb. And there's also like I don't know. Anyway, oh, Demon Girl IRL, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you. Like there are sci-fi worlds that are less popular that I think are more compelling than the Star Wars universe. Like honestly, like here, let me just point out this one thing about Star Wars. Have you ever noticed that like the way they do planets for Star Wars, like a planet is like the desert planet. Like the whole planet's a desert or whatever. I don't know the names of the world, so don't at me with it or whatever. But like in Star Wars, it's like, oh, this is the desert planet. Oh, this is the fish person planet. Oh, this is the like every planet is just like one climate and like one race that controls the planet or whatever. And like it's so it's so poorly written. Like the lore, it's so hand wavy. I can't do it, guys. Like I think Star Wars is like it's like pop culture sci-fi, right? Like poorly explained, poorly developed world building, but it's flashy and light swords, and so people are like, "Oh, that's cool." Like even like the Force is supposed to be this deep thing or whatever, but I think the Force is like it's not compelling and it's really not that deep. How can you hate Star Wars but love Campbell? That's funny. For sure, I don't adhere to any one spiritual system. The basic deal being do what you will, but the consequences are on you. I find some truth in that. Warhammer over Star Wars. I also don't like I said, I'm not a sci-fi girly. I don't know that much about Warhammer, but what I do know about Warhammer, at least the world building is better. Star Wars planets have no biomes is having no biomes is hilarious. I find it ruins like I'm huge on immersion, right? I need immersion. I need there to be enough. I don't need them to like explain the physics of every single thing that's happening. I don't need that, but I need there to be world building that's consistent enough that it gives me an element of immersion. But in Star Wars, everything is so hand wavy, everything is so surface level. Nothing is thought out to the point where it allows me to invest in the universe. It is not like I would point to Mass Effect as being a good example of a system of lore in a universe that draws me in because like okay, is Mass Effect perfect? Does all of it make sense? No, not at all. But it's better in the sense that like it's thought out enough that I can have that like what is it called? Suspension of disbelief or whatever. It was the 70s. Yeah, but like I don't think that people have I don't know. It's fine. We don't need to get on about it too much. Mass Effect is really good, but if they don't get the new game out soon, people will lose interest hard. I mean, honestly, Mass Effect, I don't know. I don't know how much people are really like Andromeda came out, right? And that kind of like screwed things up for Mass Effect pretty bad. Like I started playing Andromeda and I was like, "Oh, this is not good. Like this is so bad." I was really disappointed with Andromeda. So I hope that they bring Mass Effect back with the new stuff, but Mass Effect was great, but boy did they fumble at the end. Yeah, like I'm one of those people where I just try to like I just headcanon a different ending for Mass Effect and I pretend that the ending that's actually in the games is just not real. Like I headcanon my own ending and like the bullshit that they put at the end of Mass Effect 3, I just like, nope, that's not real. That's not real. I've lost so much interest in Star Wars, can't even keep up. Yeah. Force is hand wavy. It is. It's so I was saying what you were saying until a Star Wars fan friend of mine brought up the point that the media outside the movies is where the good shit lies, and I completely agree. The video games and animated series have come out of that show. Slap. Let's see here. Okay. Let me add some nuance to my Star Wars thing. I watched Andor and fuck is Andor good. Andor is so good. Like it is so good. And like I do not like Star Wars. I have no interest in the universe, but like I watched Andor and I was hooked the whole way through. I thought that show was incredible. It was so good. But like, you know, like I can have nuance with that. And like I'd imagine that the books are better. Like the books are probably better, but yeah, I'd rather read a Mass Effect book, honestly. Oddworld is probably my favorite sci-fi environmentalist universe. You know, I actually need to play Oddworld. I've never played it. I need to play it. I need my sci-fi to have alien cellular biochemistry, but I'm a fucking nerd. Yeah, no, I get that. The red, green, blue ending. Fuck that so hard. Yeah, it's bad. Power Rangers is more depth than Star Wars. Rogue One was also good if you like the vibe of Andor. I watched Rogue One after Andor, and it was not as good as Andor, but it was still good. Oddworld is incredibly sad, just a heads up. Oh, that's okay. I don't mind that. Health says Mitch McConnell has supposedly been in a coma for the last 3 weeks. We can talk about this briefly. This was the other thing that I wanted to talk about other than Plattner. I think Mitch McConnell is dead. I do not think that that man is alive anymore. I think he's actually dead. And I think they're trying to cover it up because I think they're worried about special elections and Thomas Massey and blah 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 blah. Like they're all worried about this stuff, but like I mean, I feel like if you've been paying attention to Mitch McConnell, it should not come as a surprise that he's like dead. Like I mean, like I'm pretty sure he had a stroke in front of like people, like in front of while talking multiple times. Like, do you remember those moments where Mitch McConnell's talking and he just like stops talking and just like stares for like 10, 15 seconds at a time? Like, dude. And like, I don't know. Guy is ancient. And like, honestly, so I read this book called Quirkology, and it kind of covers a lot of like it covers a lot of weird science that like studies that have been done and stuff like that. And one of the studies that they talk about in that book is that like there was this study done on uh on uh, on like people dying in relation to their birthday. And what they found out is that like men are more likely to die leading up to their birthday, and women are more likely to die after their birthday. And kind of like the reasoning that they established through that is that like leading up to their birthdays, men are generally speaking like stressed about achievement and whatever else in their life. Like they're kind of like stressing out about like, oh gosh, have I done enough and blah 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 blah. But like women in general are like looking forward to the celebration and like want to see their family, and like they don't want to like ruin their birthday or whatever by dying. And so like men will die leading up to their birthday because they're like stressing like crazy about like, oh my god, have I achieved enough in life? Am I like, oh my god? And then women will die after their birthday because they want to like try to make it through the celebration to not disappoint people. Someone says Mitch the Glitch. Yeah. McTurtle has been in the death continuum for years. Yeah, agreed. Someone said smoke a blunt or something for McConnell. I will not do that, but I will celebrate his death. he he's a horrible person, and I am happy that he's gone. I wish he had left sooner, honestly. Hey there, anime sidekick gal. Happy to see you. Happy to see you. He's only worthy of my Gatorade bong. Okay. Gonna miss Mitch going turtle mode. I'm not going to, actually. I'm not gonna miss him even the slightest, actually. Like Mitch McConnell is emblematic of this era of politics where like y'all remember how like Biden was like best friends with Mitch McConnell? Y'all remember that? Like you remember how Biden was like, "Oh, Mitch McConnell is so amazing and he's like my best friend in the whole world and he's such a good guy," or whatever. Like fuck that, dude. Like Mitch McConnell like single-handedly like screwed so many things up for leftists, and like genuinely was a plague upon this country. Like Mitch McConnell is one of the primary figureheads in the Republican Party that turned politics into like a football game. Like he literally would just fight for any possible win on the right, and regardless of what it was, would like stand against people on the left. And it's just like what a piece of shit, dude. Camel Tony, welcome. Like he's such a piece of shit. He played political football with our lives for years and years and years and years, and I can't stand him. And it makes me so mad that establishment Democrats thought he was a good guy. Like that makes me so fucking mad. Like I honestly like Ugh. Like, Biden being friends with Mitch McConnell is emblematic of an era that needs to be in the grave, just like Mitch McConnell is. As a Kentucky citizen, I especially can't stand McConnell. Yeah, I bet. Gravedigger of democracy. I'll do the same, Mitch, as I did for Rumsfeld, which is feel nothing and move on with my life. That is why I say corporate establishment Democrats are the reason why we got the Orange Menace. No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, like Democrats, establishment Democrats are complicit in the election of Trump, in the rise of Trumpism and MAGA. And like if we had a left wing party, like a Democrat, if the Democrats were actually left wing and got good things done for the country, we would not be where we are today. It is because they are complicit in the corporatization and the doing nothing to help the working class that causes the resentment and the displeasure in the system that causes people to flock to cult of personality type people like Trump, who promise the world and deliver absolutely none of it and make everything worse. But people are so disenfranchised by the system itself that they view him as an outsider and therefore think that he's like somehow better than the establishment picks, which, and that like, and the Democrats, want to blame Trump for everything and they want to make him this big bad guy. But like literally, like they could have done shit about that and they didn't and they don't. So whose fault really is it, Leah took the words right out of my mouth. Nice. Rest in piss, won't be missed. Should have went out the door sooner. Agreed. Mitch McConnell is a plague upon the entire human race. The world will be a better place without him. I agree. I value people's lives, but like, look, I am objective about the fact that some people bring only misery and hatred and bad into the world. Like some people bring more good into the world than bad, and some people bring more bad into the world than good. I aim to be someone who brings good into the world. Like that is like a big motivating factor in my life. I want to be an arbiter of making the world a better place. Like I think if everybody had the goal of like, I want to leave the world better than when I showed up, then we would, like, the world would be a lot better. Like it'd be a lot fucking better. But like, we live in America where it's like, oh, you got to get your own. Oh, you got to look out for yourself. This like hyper independence, which is just like not healthy for people. Like interdependence is the only way that we can make things work and make society good for everybody. And yeah, it's yeah. The real genital mutilation being done is to the fence sitters that sat complacent instead of actively fighting fascism. Like, Youch girl, don't the spikes on that fence hurt or what? Yeah, no, for sure. McConnell is part of the reason Trump isn't in prison. Exactly. He was also homies with Strom, Segregation Forever Thurman, the man who said that 1964 said in 1964 that white Southerners should be Republicans. Biden was a senator in the literal 60s. Like, don't y'all want to just enjoy retirement or something? That is actually something that is kind of wild to me to think about. Like, these people have so much power. Like, there's no reason. Like, Mitch McConnell did not need to stay in office until he literally died, right? Like, he didn't need to do that. He didn't need to do that at all. Why did he do that? Like, I don't understand why he did that. Like, are they just so obsessed with power that they can't let go of it? Like, I like, don't you want to go on vacation with your Chinese spy government wife or whatever? The fact that his wife like flew back to China immediately upon his death or whatever in hospitalization and like immediately went to the Chinese government, that is so funny, guys. Like, and also, I know I've been saying guys lately as like a gender neutral term, but I hope that no one feels bad about that. I've been thinking about that because like, like some people sometimes will use gender neutral terms for me that are like masculine coded, and I'll be like, ew. And I don't mean to make anyone feel bad. So I'll try to stick with y'all and stuff, but sometimes it's just gonna happen. Katana said, I'm gonna kick out early day tomorrow. Be safe, y'all. You too. Have a good night. Get some rest. I think everyone does have the goal of making the world a better place. It's just that some people think suffering is good for us. No, Drew, I genuinely think that like there's people that want the world to be a better place. And then there are people who are convincing themselves that they're a good person. Like everyone thinks they're a good person, right? Folks. Yeah, I like using folks too. Folks or y'all or whatever. But I sometimes guys will just come out, right? And I just want you all to know that I don't mean that as a gendered term. Okay. Like that's just I try not to use it, but sometimes it just happens. Just like a you when you talk for hours at a time, it's hard to micromanage the terms that you're using. Acacia uses goobers. That's a great one. 70 should be the retirement age for every office, if not earlier. Honestly, like maybe 60 for real. Um, my sister's says guys, dude, and bro with anyone she talks to. Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Doesn't offend me. I do the same. Imagine that was a Dem senator's wife. Fox News would go insane. Exactly. Yeah, no, like Fox News is just ignoring the fact that like uh like Mitch McConnell's wife was probably like a Chinese spy or whatever. Uh it's insane how incapable both left and right are at bringing up the younger ranks. Yeah, well, it's like this. Okay, so like what I'm talking about is like there are people who value their own personal power and they value their own personal beliefs about how the world should be over objectively trying to advocate for good in the world. Like I think if you look at a lot of leftists, they're more focused on like, okay, Medicare for all would be good for everybody, and so I want to support that. And like all these other things, right? Like if you look at leftist policy positions, most of them are like, okay, objectively this would be better for society, it would improve things for society, and so I support it. But then if you look at right wingers who oppose stuff like that, often they oppose it from some kind of like personal my life might get a little bit worse if this is like I might have to pay more taxes. Like their life would get better, but they've convinced themselves that their life would get worse. Like a lot of leftists are very tuned into the fact that like interdependence is the way forward. Like we need a society that works together to take care of everybody. Like interdependence is the way to go. But when you have right wingers, a lot of them are like focused on radical independence, like hyper independence, where it's like, no, I don't need society. I need to get my bag and I need to, whatever. And it's like, no, like that makes the world worse because you're more concerned about your own well-being than you are about the well-being of other people who are not benefiting from this like insane system that destroys people's lives, even if it might work out well for you. Good morning from Amsterdam. Hello, welcome. I definitely do not think I am a good person, just a mostly acceptable person. I think I'm a pretty good person. I've worked really hard to become a good person. I would say like 10 years ago, I was not a good person. 10 years ago, I was like definitely not a good person. But I have fought long and hard for that. And I wouldn't say that I'm perfect. I wouldn't say that I'm like without problems or like without growth opportunities or whatever. But like I think most people who are good are going to be willing to admit that they're not always perfect and that there's room for growth and all this other stuff. But people that are toxic tend to believe that there's like take it or leave it. I am who I am. Like like eat my left foot if you whatever disagree. Garland would have been SCOTUS and wouldn't be appointed as Attorney General. Wait, what is that related to? I don't consider myself a great person, just trying to be better than I was yesterday. Yeah, there you go. But the Republican Party is far better at listening to younger members than the Democratic side, unfortunately. We need a pipeline like they have built up younger Democrats. Well, see, there is a difference. There is actually a difference, though, between the left and the right in this conversation here. Like, yes, the Republican Party is better at integrating their youth, but that's because the youth out on the right is better at like just buying the line. Like young right wingers are towing the line with MAGA and with the Republican Party. Like they don't dissent from the establishment right wing politics, but the establishment Democratic politics are completely disconnected from the younger, truly leftist generation. And so like the Republican Party, yeah, they're integrating their young people by paying them a bunch of money to believe the stuff that all conservatives believe because there's money in it, and so they want to secure their bag. But on the left, like, we have these principled stances that go against the establishment Democrats, and they're not willing to budge on that even a little bit. And so we like have like a lack of integration, and there's a lack of money on the left, so there's a lack of motivating factor for people to get involved, and there's a lot of reasons. I will say that the establishment Democrats are insanely bad at like paying attention to their base. The right wingers don't care about their base at all, but they will pretend to listen to what what the base has to say. Hyper individualism is one imperfection away from removing themselves even permanently from the tribe. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, hyper individualism works really well if you so happen to make it until you stop making it. Like the only people that believe in like hyper individualism are people that have a job that is like currently making ends meet, and like maybe giving them a little extra money on top, but the second that they lose that job or there's any instability or anything like that, it just completely fails. Just completely fails. Which is why it's a problematic system. Like you shouldn't need to land on the perfect life just to like be able to exist in a society without suffering. I would say that I'm perfect. Y'all need to step it up and become perfect, or I will exile you from the left as the official pure pope of this anarcho communo socio leftism. Well, that's beautifully well said. You guys is fried into my little Canadian brain. Definitely use you guys in all cases unless everyone in the group is a chick. Yeah, no, I feel that. Many conservatives run on the ethos of loyalty. That's true. That's true. It's like loyalty to conservative traditional values, which doesn't really mean anything, but they make it whatever they want it to mean. And yeah, the youth on the right is more terminally online, and the conservatives are spending lots of money on reaching the youth and the Dems, which is easy to do since the Dems are doing next to nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Exactly. The right groom their youth. The left is meant to allow choice. Well, yes, but like Democrats don't even allow choice within the establishment party, right? Like there is no like you either capitulate to the establishment Democrats or you are barred from the system entirely. Like I mean like look at the in-group out-group dynamics between establishment Democrats and leftists versus like the in-group out-group dynamics of the right. Like the right wing does a lot better of in terms of integrating everybody into the system versus the establishment Democrats. They just want to like they just want to stick their fingers in their ears and be like la 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 la. If Democrats did pushback on McConnell declaration, we would have had Garland as SCOTUS. Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like Mitch McConnell is part of the reason why the court is the SCOTUS is packed the way it is. Like you can directly tie Mitch McConnell to like some of the worst SCOTUS decisions of the recent history because he was such a fucking horrendous person and packed the court. Yeah, McConnell was the one who said that we're not allowed to bring, like, during an election year, you're not allowed to do these SCOTUS things, and then they, like, yeah, they played politics there and ended up getting their justices in. I feel like which is a part of the reason why we really need to, like, reform the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is a disaster. Oh my gosh, Anime Sidekick Gal, thank you so much for the $10 and the 20 gifted memberships. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Holy shit. I'll get to your message in just a second. And then Garland wouldn't be the Attorney General of Drag Race. Yeah. Although I believe that whoever was Attorney General under Biden was probably not going to do anything anyway. So like that part is a little less important. I think no one can ever be perfect or completely moral. If that was the case, what would be the point of living? No, I would agree with that entirely. I feel like we are here to learn and grow as humans. If you don't approach at least sometimes with that perspective, what are you doing? Exactly. Yeah, like everyone, I think a little bit of humility goes a long way. Like non-toxic people are like absolutely the kind of people who are willing to admit like, hey, like I made a mistake here. I'm not perfect. I need, like I want to grow. Uh I know that I'm very fortunate. It's just a weird feeling as I haven't had it just handed to me. I know that I cannot make it alone, so I try really hard to pay it forward and build community. Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And like, like there are people that benefit from the system, and like I think that like understanding that and being like, hey, I want to try to pay it forward where possible or do what I can to advocate for a better system. That's like really all you can do, right? Like I'm not into blaming people for their situations whether they succeed or don't succeed. Like I know a lot of people tend to view successful people as like problematic because they have succeeded, but I don't think that that's the right way to go about things. Like obviously there's a way that, like if someone becomes insanely wealthy and they just like go off into their little wealth bubble or whatever, like that's a problem. But like people that make it and then do something with it to benefit other people, like that's the way to go. Everyone needs to be a socialist democrat. Just believe in freedom. I think this is the election where it's going to change, Leah. I think the Democrats in America are going to wake it up for change. Like honestly, I mean, it is really it does give me a lot of hope that the the DSA candidates are doing extremely well, and it does not seem like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if someone said the word this person, like if someone said this person is a socialist, that would have been that would have been a huge anchor on that person's campaign. Like it would have been extremely problematic. But honestly, it feels like it's actually um it's not working. Like it's not, people don't care anymore. I mean like I think honestly like people have been so overwhelmed by hyperbolic language about like different political beliefs, and like there's a reason why I don't self-identify as a certain part of the political spectrum. I'll say I'm a leftist, right? But I don't go, oh, I'm a socialist, or oh, I'm a communist, or whatever. Like I don't say any of that stuff because I think that those terms have almost lost all meaning. And even if they have meaning to you, to a lot of other people, they're just words. Like you call someone a communist or a socialist, and it's like, okay, well, those terms have been used in all sorts of different contexts over the past 10 to 20, 30, 40 years or whatever, in all sorts of different ways. And like it's almost like when you have breaking news constantly, it like loses the like uh the what the importance of it or whatever loses meaning. Like I can't remember the term for it, but people just become desensitized to that kind of stuff over time. McConnell is directly responsible for Roe being overturned. Yeah, yeah. Got a membership, Leah? I'll make sure to renew in a month. Oh, only if you can. Like I only support me if you're able to do so without suffering. I don't want anyone to like suffer because of it. But I do appreciate the support like a shit ton. It means a lot to me. However, we need to get rid of the filibuster first before we can do anything about SCOTUS, because Republicans will block any legislation. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we need to do. My experience in the military has taught me a lot, and I'm grateful for my country, which allows me to serve. Sputnik. Hey, Sputnik, welcome. DSA is officially the biggest socialist organization in the U.S. history at this point, bigger than the Eugene Debs or the Communist Party. Yeah, and that's like it's giving me a little bit of hope that these candidates can run as socialists, and it's not a dead weight on their campaign, which is awesome. We've only just begun to generationally deprogram the second Red Scare ways of thought. Yeah, no, true. But like it seems like it's happening. It seems like it's happening. The Communist Party is also growing in size. CPUSA, not ACP. Let's I mean, like, I'm happy to see leftist organizations growing. Leah, how dare you not have a favorite leftist Pokemon? That's Anarchosaur is clearly the superior. Is that a real Pokemon? Anarchosaur. Is that a real Pokemon? I'm not seeing a Pokemon by that name. So I think you've lied to me. It's fun to argue with my you mean like labels and stuff. Okay, I see. That went way over my head. it's fun to argue with my ex about her being a commie and me being an anarchist, which is better and which is better and what the differences are. Not much. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, and honestly, like, I think as leftists, we have we have we have fallen into, like, there's, people like, oh, I'm a socialist, or oh, I'm a communist, or oh, I'm an anarchist. And then like people tend to go into their individual camps and then get really like just watch Andor, like people like leftist politics tend to be divisive in the sense that people arrive at a position and they're like, oh, my particular brand of leftism is the only right way to be a leftist. And it's like, no, that's actually toxic to leftism in general. It works in favor of the establishment and the systems in place already if you are like, like the last thing we need to do is to divide ourselves on the left. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I really wish I knew more leftists who are vegan. Seeing moral contradictions in leftists pains me versus the contradiction. Okay. That is okay. Sustainably Sam, that is such a nuanced conversation. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm against animal cruelty. I'm against animal abuse. I think that the current way that we handle it is horrific and an atrocity and bad. But I don't know. I don't. I think if you're personally a vegan, that's fine. But I do think that, like, I don't think that it's fair to like expect other people to also be vegan because you view that as like the right thing to do. Like I don't know. It's one okay, if all you're saying is like I just wish I saw more vegans, okay, fair. Yeah, sure, fair. Like that's fine. But if you're actually doing purity politics about it, then that's where I get that's where I start to disagree. Like you can be a vegan, that's great, that's fine. And I think honestly, yeah, it's like probably better for well, I don't know enough about it honestly. Like there's like farming is still problematic. Even outside of like animal cruelty, like there's a lot of slavery and like farming is not necessarily good. But yeah, I'm being dramatic, but we can squabble with each other in political prisons. Let's work together to avoid that outcome. Yeah, no, I get it. I eat bacon just to spite pigs, invasive species, and they suck for the environment. Eating wild boar is morally good. That's what I would say. Okay, so like if someone were to like factory farming is bad, right? Like slaughterhouses bad. If someone goes out and shoots a deer and like eats it, I don't think that that's morally problematic in the sense that like like as long as they're not unsustained, like as long as they're not like personally murdering the entire deer population, like I don't I don't have anything wrong with people like going out and like hunting their food and stuff. And I think we should advocate for better systems, of course, but like I just I don't know. I don't think we're gonna bring people on with it. The thing that gets me the most is how pernicious sexual violation is in animal agriculture. That sucks. Mm. Okay, anyway, I hate to do this so suddenly, but I have to go do my injection like right now. I'm actually going to be late on my injection by just a little bit, which is okay. But I did not realize how late it was until I looked down and I was like, "Oh my god, it's midnight." So I probably should start wrapping up here in a second. I hope that we get confirmation about Mitch McConnell soon. Also, with the Iran war and stuff that's going on, I don't know, folks. Like I said it before, but you may want to go out and buy some bulk rice, bulk beans, and stuff like that because it's looking kind of bad. It's looking pretty bad actually. And you just want to be prepared for like a potential supply shock issue where you know, maybe we won't have access to food for a bit. But anyway, yeah, I should probably get out of here and go do my injection. Uh, Unfortunately, I gotta go. And yeah, I appreciate all of you for being here. It was a great stream tonight. Um, Means a lot. All the support and all the kind words and stuff. I will be back on Wednesday with another stream. I hope to see all of you there. I'll do a video on Wednesday, so we'll record a video. And Tuesday morning injection team. It is Monday night for me. That is my injection time, is Monday night. That is, but you know, if it's Tuesday morning for you and we're still injecting around the same time, then it's like, it's like time zones and stuff are like it's like a lie created by the government to something or another. Anyway, I appreciate you all. Much love and all that stuff, and I hope that you all find some water and drink it, because water is good for you. And all I have to say is, yeah, I don't know, hail hydrate and stuff. I'll be back on Wednesday. Much love. Peace out. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye bye.
I'm staying in the race.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. Thank you, everybody.